Okay.
Guys, we are ready. What's up?
We are back. Ranton Podcast number 16.
Yes, in turbulent times. This is to show you guys that I'm actually a doctor, so we're safe.
And I'm coughing. Where to even begin? There's so much. I say this in every beginning of every podcast because I got like
it's true.
I got like a stream of consciousness going on, and there's so much I need to talk about and cover. Where to start?
Maybe like catching up on what's been going on with you milking Shaolin again.
True. Nice. No, okay. I'm thinking how to properly construct this. First of all, it's good to be back.
Yes, of course. Yeah. We had every time we wanted to do a podcast, it kind of didn't work out. And
let's just dive into this.
Yeah.
We have to start at some point. So, some people think, "Oh, Ranton, you took this big break, blah blah blah." No. Oh, right. Let's give the whole catch up. What happened with the... Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, good. True. All right. So, what happened is, my last video was in 2019 was the Star Wars Fallen Order review that came out, I think, on the 19th of December. Yes. After that video came out, I went into production on another video. That ended... I ended up having to scrap it because family came... and Christmas time began. There was no way for me to finish it.
No time to work,
Yeah, and at that point, now the video is irrelevant, so fuck it. But then, during Christmas time, obviously, there's a bit of a break, right? I can't produce shit if we have family, and it's a bit of a break. Yeah. This break was longer than usual because we had friends visiting. We had friends visiting from far away, very good friends. And so this was extended by 2 more weeks. So then on the 14th of January 2020 is when I went back to work, essentially, on the channel. But you didn't get another video until February 14th or something.
Yeah, middle of February or something.
Because I had to come back. I feel like I'm sitting so low, man. Whatever the fuck. This is so complicated to explain everything because I feel like when I say a word, I'm missing another word.
It has to come out at the same time.
I always had this problem in school during exams. I write so fast because I'm 10 sentences ahead.
Yeah.
And then my writing ends up so...
And you're afraid that you will forget something.
I will forget what I want to say.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. And then I just end up saying nothing. Okay, so...
You wanted to come back in 2020 with a bang.
Yes, not only that, but a lot of things I wanted to change. Not that much. But I wanted to change a few things because end of 2019, I was already getting a little bit tired of everything and I wasn't sure and blah, blah, blah. And Shaolin, I was depressed about my Shaolin content. I was like, people suck and I suck and everything sucks. Yeah. So, I was a bit Rantoni depressioni. But then I realized, okay. I have to do things differently. I have to do a couple of things. First of all, I wanted to create something that was... different. That was the first bit. I wanted to create something that was just different and it was supposed to look like something that gamers don't see on YouTube. That was the idea. I have to reiterate this. It was supposed to be a kind of video that when you click on it, there's no other gaming related content that feels like it. So then I began thinking, all right, gaming news. Oh. Everyone, like all these, no beef. So there are channels out there who make gaming news and they make a lot of money, which is good for them, but it's so simple. They play a game for 20 minutes and they just talk over it and they read Kotaku articles to you and they make 500,000 views per day.
That's like the most depressing part.
They make so much money and good for them, but I look at it and I'm like, oh, you have it so...
They call themselves like gaming news, but they're just...
Well, whatever, they fulfill a need that is there and...
Apparently.
It's fine, Yeah. I also watch this occasionally when I have to stay informed.
Yeah. And getting news read to you is more enjoyable than having to reading them themselves.
Exactly. I can speak. And I thought, I want to capitalize on this somehow. But at the same time, I cannot make content that's that I don't stand behind. And I also have realized I need to make content that's timeless. And this sounds like, oh, my videos, oh, this is timeless classic. No.
Watch Rantoni's first review.
Oh, God. Stop. Oh, God. My first review is not on my channel anymore. Thank God. But even my second review is okay, whatever. I need to make content that you can always watch. And a news video dies on the second day.
Yeah.
Because there's, and that's fine. That's not what
like what news is.
They're supposed to deliver you the news in that moment, and that's it.
Yeah.
No one goes back to, what happened in 2010 on IGN Daily Fix News Edition. No one cares. So my first idea was, all right, I will put a twist on the gaming news. I will report on what other gaming news gaming news YouTubers report on. So I was like,
meta news.
This idea is good. So I will beef with them and you can watch my videos so you don't have to watch theirs.
Wow.
I summarize what they talk about. Wow. That sounded kind of good in my head, and I also thought it's kind of fun to beef with other YouTubers. Then I wrote the script, and no, wait, we skipped the big part.
Building the
fucking set.
Yes.
Oh God, this is so. I came up with this idea of wearing a ski mask, having it really badass set up, and then I slowly kind of built this idea of why not just make it look like a rap video. And I saw some really big retards in the comment section of the Rantoni Remembers being like, you're not even rapping on the beat. And I'm like, no. You misunderstand. I'm not rapping in the videos. It's just supposed to feel like a rap video. That was that idea kind of transcended over time, yeah? This all took a long time. There is, okay, and then I have to create a new set for this. I need to buy masks, I need to buy laser pointers,
fake money,
bulletproof vest. I bought a gun that's as real as you can legally buy in Germany. I printed out
Which is a real gun, by the way. No.
I printed out all these pictures of YouTubers and create this amazing conspiracy wall, cocaine bags and all that shit. And I got a fucking carpenter. The carpenter story was probably I get this carpenter over here to look at the walls and be like, yo, how much time do you need for this? How much money are you going to ask for this to build up this set? Because we're going to drill wood to the walls and everything. First of all, it took me 3 weeks over to a month to get a carpenter to come over here because these guys are booked. You can't get them. The guy comes here and I thought, okay, if he wants up to $1,000,
fine.
Maybe I'll do it because then it's properly done. The guy, I can't even say the number, how much he wanted from me. I read this number, I thought,
you must be kidding.
You must be kidding. The guy wanted about 5,000 euros.
My chewing gum.
Did you swallow your chewing gum?
Yes. I almost died. Okay, yeah. The number
dude
was
wanted
just so brutal.
5,000. And I thought, hallo? Ja, was soll der Scheiß? I thought, are you crazy? I have to save myself. And then I thought, fuck it, I have to build this myself. And because I know, you are kind of good with all this physical labor shit.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, let's just build this wall together. Go to the Baumarkt, get the material, measure the wall, look, check out the plan of the house so we don't drill into cables and wires. Yeah. And we end up building the whole wall for we spent like $150 maybe a bit more, 200.
Yeah, 200 I think.
And it's a beautiful wall.
Because
it's perfect.
We had much of the equipment we needed, right? So, and it turns out it's not magic.
Yeah, and building that set, all of that together, that took a month.
Yeah.
Building that set took a month. And at the same time of building that set, it was waiting for all the material to arrive. And then when everything was ready, I thought, let's go. I got the script. I got my idea. And then problem number 2. The script sucked. The idea sucked. Gaming news, talking about what other channels talk about, it's ridiculous. First of all, I don't give a shit about these channels.
Yeah.
It's not something that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
And secondly, somebody on the Discord told this to me. This is something I didn't think about. If I make a comeback video that's beefing with other YouTubers, it might look like, oh, now he's trying to grab onto other channels to grow his channel.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that, but I realized, that it might look like that.
Yeah.
And that's not what I want to do. So I tinkered with the script. Script V2, edition number 2. I looked at YouTube gaming trending. What's on trending? And then comment on what's happening there and roast the people that are on trending. I filmed it. started editing, realized this is whack shit. This is whack. It's whack. And also, the videos would have been 10 minutes, and 10 minutes of this quick editing, it's not good. And also,
it kind of has the same problem as before, right? You're always looking like you're taking what's hot, and then that's it.
And then I thought, and also, I don't care about these channels.
Yeah.
And then I was honestly, I thought, fuck, I spend on the set itself cost maybe $200, but on all the other equipment, everything in total, I spent at least $2,000 on everything in total. And I thought, I did not just build this. I did not just build this set for nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what it slowly seemed like to me. And then we had this Discord, brain trust meetup.
War room.
Yeah, and then we thought about, okay, it should be gaming related, but not like reviews. And then it was a slow process of developing this idea. And then I realized, okay, nostalgia. How do I cover older games with videos that are not like reviews? Because nostalgia is like the opposite of a review, right? Nostalgia is not rational. We don't remember games
as they are,
as they were. We remember them in an idealized way.
Yeah.
And if I can make a 3-minute long, like a music video, quick cuts, crazy shit video of just me recapping a game, because the point of these videos is to make you feel like, damn, I want to play this again. Like, holy shit. First of all, the videos are supposed to look and feel like nothing else on YouTube. Not because they're so amazing, that's not what I'm saying, but because it's just factually unique.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that looks like this. And also, I have this guy, Toby, on the Discord, a fucking god who creates the music for me. I give him $100 per song, which I'm dying. He's bleeding me dry. But
yeah, Toby, have a conscience.
But his music is just, Toby is a god. And also Konstantin, shout out to Konstantin, he also made a beat for me. Amazing stuff. Yeah, I'm putting both of their links in the description.
Having listened to it.
Yeah, and also like German rap is like my guilty pleasure, I would say. A lot of Germans make fun of German rap. I love that shit since I'm a little kid. And that also kind of allows me to add a little bit of that flavor into my videos. And
a little bit of flair here and there.
Yeah. And then when I did the Sleeping Dogs video and I started editing, I realized, this is it. I knew right from the beginning, not everyone's gonna like it. Like, I guess if you don't like rap, maybe it's not for you. I guess, maybe, I don't know.
But actually, it doesn't really have anything to do with
exactly.
rap,
It's not rap at all.
It's not even music.
Yeah, true. In a way, the music is very loud because I do want to make it the music, not just background music. I want the people to hear the beat, but it's not really music. And I get that, that maybe it's not for some people, but for me, these are like passion projects, and I love it so much the way they look. I'm creating unique beats for every single video, not for the future. I'm gonna do, I think, maybe 2 more or 4 more beats, and then I will go on rotation because I can't spend $200 on a video that's making $50 in return. If I'm lucky, no, not even. They make 100,000 views. That's wait, 1,000 views translates to about $1. So
that's 100.
Yeah, and they are about 100,000 views per video, so that's $100 minus per video. If I have 2 beats, yeah, that's great. so I'm putting the beats on rotation. Obviously, I won't get
Antoni remembers cancelled.
New video series over after 2 episodes. No, but I love this so much. It allows me to cover old games. I wanted to do Metal Gear Solid 3 next, but that is happening. But now I'm putting Half-Life 2 in between. Because Half-Life Alyx is coming out.
Yes.
I can afford a $1,000.
Alyx.
Alex?
Alex.
Yeah.
Alyx.
That triggers PTSD. And I'm putting that in between. Okay. I thought I was so smart. I thought I was so smart. Like, I thought Half-Life Alyx VR, I don't like VR, I don't care. And I can't spend $1,000 on a video. Like $1,000
because you would have had to buy the whole equipment. Yeah,
that's not happening. I'm not doing that.
Don't do that.
And then I realized, what else can I kind of capitalize on the Half-Life hype? And I thought, bro, while everyone's doing Half-Life Alyx, I will do Half-Life 2. And while I played through the game yesterday, notification pops up, girlfriend reviews Half-Life 2 or some shit. And I'm like, bro,
you will die.
And then I click on her video and I have like 20 other videos in my recommended, all that came out recently about Half-Life 2, and I'm like, guess I'm not the smartest cookie. guess I'm not the smartest cookie in the basket.
Oh no.
But whatever. I mean, it's still happening. I finished the game yesterday. I'm writing the script, hopefully before Doom.
Wait,
But
have you even played Half-Life back then?
No, a little bit, but I never actually played through it.
Okay.
I played through it, and even for today's standards, it's a groundbreaking game.
Amazing. Like I've just played it last year, nostalgia-wise, episode 1 and 2. Also, guys, Half-Life is the definition of a timeless game for me. It's timeless.
Because I kind of played it for the first time, I was actually shocked in a way how
the loading screens?
No. How little story there was in Half-Life 2. There's not much story in that game. There are basically no cutscenes, and the story just happened. You're traveling all the time, and there's not much story in that game at all.
All right.
The characters are very generic.
All right. There's not much story, but what it lacks in story, it makes up in world.
Exactly. The world building is great. That's what I'm going to talk about in my video. And also, I think what made Half-Life 2 a timeless classic, or I would say such a groundbreaking game for that time,
the source engine
is the engine. Yeah. Their obsession with physics and with giving you tools. They're just giving you the gravity gun, the bolt shot thing, and how amazing the shotgun also feels for the time. It's just, that's what made the game so incredible. Yeah. We're fucking getting distracted here. So I want to apologize to all of you guys why it took so long to get the channel back on track. The reviews will remain unchanged. The reviews will keep coming out, the Ranton reviews for big AAA titles that I'm hyped for, that everyone's hyped for. That will happen. Doom Eternal will be next. Also, because I want to make this whole channel even more professional. Yeah, it has to be even more professional. And also with the Shaolin content, I fucking cried about that shit for 3 months. I thought, now I thought, fuck it.
Great.
Like you said in the podcast, like one day, sooner or later, I'm gonna get over it. I'm fucking over it. A lot of people are interested in Shaolin content. I am interested in Shaolin content. Yeah. I love video games. I love Shaolin. I have like 20 different fucking issues I want to talk about. Arthur is making a nice little intro for me.
Awesome.
And
Danke, Arthur.
Yeah. Shaolin content, more is coming soon. Also, I started live streaming. I'm going to do live streaming every day, Mondays to Fridays, 9 p.m. on the channel Angry Cuck Gaming.
Wait, you're really doing the streaming thing?
I've already been doing it for 4 days.
Awesome.
I'm playing a game, every day a different game, until I die. I'm kind of bringing the till I dies back.
Man, this is crazy what you're doing here.
Yeah, dude,
like
I know.
With the Ranton Remembers, you solved your channel old problem of not being able to review a game.
That's like
the
old.
moment you're playing it, right? You said that. You said that.
That was back in the day.
Back.
Even my reviews right now, I can cover older games. I did Skyrim, right? I did Skyrim.
Okay, yeah.
But it just allows me to make videos that take less work, less script, but are still high production value, look amazing, feel completely different. Yeah. And so AAA new releases, Ranton review. Older games, Ranton Remembers. And then games that I can't cover in another way in between, Ranton Till I Die on Angry Cuck Gaming. Then
why is that another channel?
I didn't want to. There are channels that I'm subscribed to that kind of spam live stream notifications, and I kind of think it's annoying.
Oh, okay.
On my channel, I want.
I see.
Curated high quality shit. That's why. And then also Shaolin content.
Yeah.
And
You actually found a way to bring back Till I Die. That is so awesome.
Yeah, I'm super happy with it. I'm super excited for the future of the channel.
And when you die, how do you do it? When you die, you stop the stream?
I stop the stream.
So the Super Meat Boy stream would have been would have been the shortest stream.
I played Ori in the Blind Forest. Yeah. The stream is 20 minutes long, but because the first 18 minutes were cutscenes, I died at the first enemy. So that was like 2 minutes. I also streamed Call of Duty Warzone. I died after 8 minutes, the first enemy. So it's good.
So your stream is basically the opening cutscenes of different games.
I played Sekiro. I streamed Sekiro yesterday.
Wow.
I lasted for half an hour.
Hey.
I played Neo 2 yesterday. Lasted for 28 minutes.
That game's out?
Neo 2 is amazing. It's amazing.
We have to talk about that.
I can give it to you. I have it right there over there on my PlayStation. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really have time to play it right now.
Yeah.
So did I cover everything? Yes. So this is just for all of you guys so you understand where I've been, what I've been doing. I was never gone. I finally understand how Instagram stories work. Sophia, drill that shit into my head until I get it.
Now you can explain it to me at some point. But I actually don't care.
Yeah, so I hate Instagram, but I'm gonna do everything just more professionally. Okay. And I knew from the very beginning because I was gone for a long time. In the eyes of a lot of people, I was on break, and also maybe a lot of people forgot about my channel. And I realized then with Ranton Remembers, it's something new. It's very different. I realized I might have to fight myself back up from the bottom. maybe only 10, maybe only...
From the bottom of 700,000 subscribers,
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't watch.
Fuckers.
Yeah, well, I fully expected this. The Ranton Remembers actually worked out a lot better than I thought.
Oh,
I was thinking, yo, if it's 40K, whatever, I will fight. I see this reboot of the channel as like me fighting myself up again from the bottom. Who gives a shit? If this podcast, if the core audience, what I consider the podcast to be, if this shriveled, if this sprinkled down to 500, so be it.
Yeah.
I fought myself up from this before. I will fight myself back up again.
Yeah.
And as long as I create quality content that I stand behind, success is inevitable.
Awesome.
But it's so good to be back. We finally have the podcast back on track. I'm so happy. I'm so happy we're back. I feel like I've just talked for how long? Now you have to talk a little bit.
Okay.
I talked for 20 minutes. Now you talk.
Stop the stream. Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I think it's awesome that we're back doing the podcast thing. I mean, these are extraordinary times. It's the last podcast before the apocalypse, apparently.
The first podcast of the apocalypse.
Or you could put it that way. Yeah. So subscribe for more apocalypse content. But yeah, I have to tell you, I really thoroughly enjoyed making the wall, the
new set. For without Andi, none of this would have been possible. By the way, it's true.
And to bridge the gap to our normal topics I have to tell you a story about when we finished last podcast. It happened to me. The story I'm now going to tell, and since that day, I've been eagerly awaiting the chance to, in the podcast number 3, tell the story.
Okay, so let's go.
Here's the thing. My life has peaked. Yeah.
That's bad, actually.
Well, it's actually not, because that peak is so galactically high, it doesn't matter anymore.
Okay.
I have entered the absolute state of enlightenment that nothing matters.
My life has peaked.
So, this happened to me, I think in January. In January, a new restaurant opened in our city, and it was Japanese ramen, which we didn't have before.
Yes.
Yeah? And then I took a good friend of mine. We went there, and we were not so clever to book a table. So we arrived, and the waitress just came to us. No. I was like, oh, fuck. Nothing I can do? No. Earliest in 2 hours. Come back in 2 hours. I said, oh, fuck. All right. My friend hasn't arrived yet, so I'm there alone. I turn around. I'm getting ready to open the door and leave. And suddenly I notice a guy standing, he got up from his seat and stood next to me. And then he said, excuse me? And I was like, what? Are you Andi? And I was like, who is this? Who wants to know? But I was so struck. I was like, yes. Maybe I came off as a little bit too And he was like, yeah, I'm so glad I got the courage to talk to you, because you see, I always watch you and your brother's podcast. And I was like, wow!
No way!
And immediately, I was like, oh, yes, this is the moment I've been waiting for all this time. And then he was like, because, I'm a Patreon, and I'm on the Discord, but
Wait, who?
He is one of those that can only,
right? Or
what's your
the lowest
$1
is
tier?
support on. They can't write and they can't speak.
I think
I
think that's where
bottom of the barrel.
But he sees everything, right? So
yeah.
I think that's. I mean, I didn't even fully get it, but because I was so
you got recognized.
And then he was there. I think he on the table there was an Asian girl, probably his girlfriend, to enjoy ramen with. And then he told me he's a big fan. I was like, oh my god, dude, you're gonna love the next video, because we were just working on your wall and studio down there.
And now he had to wait for 2 months.
I don't want to hype it too much, but this next video is gonna be awesome.
Wow, you put a lot of trust in me.
Oops.
Oh fuck.
But, and then
How does it feel?
It was the best. Yeah, it has peaked.
I mean, at this point, I'm used to getting recognized.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I think I got recognized 5 times.
Although I gotta say, I was expecting him to get up and give me his seat. Thanks for nothing. Fuck.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah. That's the last time I'm gonna speak with you.
That's amazing. You actually.
Yeah. But it was so awesome, and
I also remember the first time I got recognized.
I loves it.
It's a weird feeling, right? It's like
super weird.
it's so odd because they look at you like they know you. I don't mean this in a rude way. They look at you because they know you.
Yeah.
Not like they know you, because they know you.
They have seen you before, right?
Yeah, they know you to some extent.
Yeah.
And you have never seen them.
Yeah.
It was weird. I had a similar situation once. I was walking through the city and then wie sagt man? Blicke kreuzen sich.
So our,
when you
our
look
line of sights
when you look around and then your eyes you catch.
No, the eyes meet.
That sounds so romantic. Okay, well, our eyes met, and then you know what? I'm just walking around like looking around, looking at people, and then one guy looks at me, and I recognize he's looking at me, and he's like, and I'm like. because they look at you.
Yeah.
Like it's you.
And they recognize you.
Yeah. They know you.
Yeah.
And because I reacted like this,
yeah.
I could see in his eyes he noticed that he was being weird because he was acting like we know each other.
Yeah.
And then he was like,
but then he like realized there's no way for you to know who he is.
Yeah. And it's still every time I do get recognized, which isn't much because I don't go out much and I'm not that big of a deal. But it's been very nice every single time. I really gotta say I got some very cool fans.
Yeah.
I'm the monk boy, as the people refer to me.
So random stranger that took all his courage together to speak to me. Thank you.
You don't know his name?
I'm not gonna say it here, of course. But
do you know his name?
No. I mean, if you introduce yourself to me, I'm very sorry, but I was so in that zone, I forgot it. But if not, then
you know when I'm on the Discord and I meet new people or like people who are active in the voice chat, I always ask them like where they're from, and maybe that can come off as weird, but I think the reason why I do it is because it's so amazing to think about. Like, I felt this way since I started my channel, and I still feel like this today. Every click on your video is an individual person clicking on your video. Yeah. That's a person.
Watching it.
Yeah. That's a person who lives somewhere.
Yeah.
And for me, it's so amazing. Then when they tell me like what city they're from, I click on that city and I go on Google Street View, and then I imagine like there's a Ranton fan walking around here. It amazes me. And honestly, the people I've met, this is the highlight of 2019 for me. And even like now, like I've met so many cool people. It's incredible. It's a blessing.
The end of the year video.
Which one? I didn't do end of the year.
No, you didn't do. But like from the Discord fans, like the big Discord fan meetup and thank you video. That was like it really made you feel like those people. They made it was a short collab video of many of Ranton's fans.
Maybe I should explain it. So I did an individualized video for every very active member of my server.
Oh, okay.
And I sent it to them around Christmas or New Year's time because I wanted to just thank people individually. And then they surprised me one day. This was one of the most, it sounds so weird, but it's one of the most beautiful things I've ever gotten in my life. Like, not even kidding.
I was in on it.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
they said Lars sent me this video, and he asked people behind my back to make a little thank you video in return to me, and then he cut it together. It was one of the most moving things I've ever gotten. Like not even kidding.
Yeah,
it's hella gay, but it's true.
It has like there's nothing else you could say. It was that heartfelt and honest, and
I thought about uploading it to my channel, but then I thought now it looks like I'm kind of using it if I'm uploading it. And I thought, no, this is meant for me, and I'll just keep it for me.
But it's up on Lars's channel, right? Is it not?
I don't think so.
Give Lars the views.
Yeah, it was one of the most amazing things, definitely.
And having them, you see like these small individual videos, and you see how they're sitting in front of their PC and talking into the webcam. And that's also a moment when I realized like these guys are sitting there.
They're people
on their PC. Enjoy and then they enjoys it.
Yeah, true.
That's so
it's crazy.
great.
It's really crazy. Yeah. And I thought about, should we talk about the whole situation right now in the world? I feel like that's
we have enough about that.
Yeah, I
thought I'm
that
also a little, since my opinion is not exactly the opinion that most people have, I kind of don't want to talk about it.
Well, now we kind of have to talk about it.
No, it's everyone just chill. That's enough. I'm not gonna say.
Well, anyways, so listen to your local government. I would say listen to your local authorities. Be careful. Practice social distancing. But at this point, it's so omnipresent that maybe we should not spend too much time on this shit.
It's okay.
But what we should spend some time talking about is, like, honestly, 2020. What a fucking
Wait, so we started. What was it? What was the January thing?
Kobe Bryant died, which was a huge deal.
In the US, maybe, but
no, he's a worldwide star. Like, I also don't care that much about basketball, but Kobe Bryant is a big deal.
I mean, even I knew.
And
yeah.
What else? Who else died?
No, I think January was World War III with the Iran and
right.
But that was like, everyone knew that was kind of a joke.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. Well, the World War III meme, yes.
Those were a joke, yeah.
But
okay.
2020.
And then we had February. What was there?
Well, Corona has been an issue since January, but only in China.
Yeah.
God damn.
I'm enjoying the year so far. I got a job. I got recognized on the street. What more do I want?
Like, I think it really fucking sucks. So the reason, well, first of all, of course, like, let's not talk about the medical aspect of this whole situation, okay? We all know this sucks, but I'm not going to talk about that further. But the other reasons why this sucks so much is, man, everything is getting postponed and canceled. Everything.
Yeah, that sucks really.
And yes, I know at the end of the day, the games are going to be better for it, but still.
Are they?
They must be, because they're working on it longer, so they must be better.
Well, they're not actually working at the moment.
No, they are. A lot of they're doing home office and shit.
Yeah, as someone who does home office, I can tell you that home office is half working.
Wow, you just lost your job.
No, I'm not doing home office, but
okay.
You know, the company and my department is. I'm going to work normally.
Are they planning to shut down or
they said, like, whoever wants to do home office can do, but they're not gonna bar me from entering the office.
Okay.
And since I'm now almost alone there, it's safe.
Anyway, so The Last of Us was postponed.
Yeah.
Doom was postponed. The Cyberpunk was postponed. The Watch Dogs Legion indefinitely postponed.
Indefinitely?
Well,
yikes. Okay.
I don't want to mess it up, but definitely postponed.
Yeah.
Dying Light 2, which I just started getting hyped for, that's definitely indefinitely postponed.
Ooh.
Then there's way more. Marvel, the game got postponed. There's more.
Xbox One X.
Yeah, I'm also thinking that the consoles are going to be postponed too.
Like, my wife just told me, she read an article, I don't know if it's true, that said, like, the consoles are definitely not coming out 2020.
Yeah.
Possibly. Like.
Yeah, also think about, like, even if the virus was just in China, it would have maybe also gotten postponed because they produced those in China.
Yeah.
It's like, at this point, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like this, it
E3
really
cancelled. Fuck.
Do you know that I was actually going to surprise you with inviting you to come to E3 with me this year?
I hate this situation.
No, I'm not kidding. I was on the phone.
Mann.
I was on the phone with SkillUp. By the way, SkillUp, realest motherfucker in the business.
Richtiger Bruder.
SkillUp is so epic. I talked with him on Discord, and he was kind of guiding me through how E3 works, how I could apply.
Isn't he a British guy?
No, he's Australian. How I could apply for press passes, and he was going to help me with booking and everything, and we were going to do collabs with YongYea.
Yo!
I was going to do collabs with everyone this year. First time going to E3. We were going to E3. And E3 is done.
Yeah.
And
oh, come on!
Yeah, I know.
Man, no.
I was so hyped going to LA.
Yeah. I've never been to LA.
Yeah, I've also never been to LA.
Come on.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Do you and me at E3. Man, I would have, if I saw Todd Howard, no matter how many, I want to make a statement. No matter how many security guards stand between me and him, I would have ran towards him with my duck out.
In your Shaolin stance.
I would have yeeted over every security guard. I would have body slammed into Todd Howard and just lick his face.
Yeah. And
then
ask him to
lifelong ban from E3, LA, and the US in general. Travel ban.
And as the punishment, you have to play Fallout 76 for 1 year. Yeah, not happening.
At this point, it really does fucking suck.
I did have that as one of the topics here, how everything's getting postponed and cancelled.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a scheiß.
I hope Last of Us 2 still comes out on release date. which is May, I think.
Although I wonder, isn't it, especially like video games, wouldn't that be like awesomer to release them now? Because I get it if like great big movies are not getting a theatrical release because the theaters are closed. But having like a game be available on Steam, everyone's
that's not the problem. Yeah. Game releases now would be amazing.
Yeah.
But the game isn't finished. The games aren't finished.
Oh,
you have to finish the fucking. You can't release the game unfinished.
So the games that release right now,
Doom Eternal
are the best games because they've been finished before.
So
and now
I think Doom Eternal chose and Animal Crossing chose the perfect time. Like, first of all, Doom, it's like apocalypse vibes.
Let's transition into Doom.
Yeah,
I have this as a big topic.
So first of all, I want like Doom. I don't look at reviews before I play the game. I just look at some headlines. What I've read so far, apparently Doom Eternal is incredible. The first headlines I saw, the game is insanely good. Secondly, it's releasing now when everyone's at home. I think Steam just released a number that they have they have a new record of most concurrent users, 20 million or something. So everyone's at home playing games. Animal Crossing, people are going to socialize on Animal Crossing. And this is perfect. And I did not enjoy Doom 2016. Sorry, I have to say. I thought it was incredibly boring. I only played half an hour of it. But from what I've seen so far, I'm going to give it a fair shake. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I'm looking forward to making the review. Really, I have so many jokes written on my notepad. Like, I want to make these jokes.
All of the reviews going to be you getting glory killed.
And so Doom Eternal, go ahead.
Yes, so like everyone else, apparently, when they announced Doom 3 at, I think it was E3 last year.
Doom 3.
Doom Eternal at E3 last year or the year before. Anyway, when they announced that, the press conference there, I was like, do I really have to wait another year? Every day is going to be torture. I need this now. Yeah. And the closer the game got, the more they went into their marketing, campaigning, and stuff. And at first I was like, yeah, more Doom news. Yeah, give me. Yeah. But now it has reached a point where I'm actually, wait a minute. It has come to this point where they're doing too much marketing. And it kind of suddenly the realization struck me, and it left like a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I've seen this before with games like I don't know if it's a good example, but games that are like right before they're released, that do like flood all channels with their game and marketing. There are Reddit ads of it, and it's everywhere. I was like, that rarely turns out to be this good. Anyone remember No Man's Sky? Yeah. And
but No Man's Sky was a failure because they lied and shit. That's different.
Yes, but you never know if they lie or not.
Sure.
Right? And I'm usually very skeptic when it comes to these huge, blown out of proportion almost marketing campaigns, because is it really that necessary to explain to me 100 times why this gun has like the best recoil? And like, let the game speak for itself. But then again, I realize the marketing campaigns are there for people to get to hear about it.
Exactly. I was just gonna say that.
Of course, yeah.
They're not trying to reach you with every ad.
Exactly, yeah. But then Hugo Martin was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Hugo Martin, who's that?
The Doom developer.
Wait, what? For real?
Yeah, he was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Holy shit.
Which actually turned out to be a horrible podcast where they didn't speak about Doom and only about Corona bullshit.
Okay.
And I don't know. I'm like the hype got a little like blown.
I thought you were immune to hype.
Yeah. I thought so too. And now I'm back on the not so hyped.
But maybe that's good.
Yeah.
So here's how I see it. I don't think you can over market a game.
Okay.
Not including lying, because that's what's it called? That's
fraud.
Yeah. I don't think you can do that because they're trying to reach as many people as possible. And now with the reviews coming out, backing up all of this, like I saw reviews with like 97 out of 100.
I didn't watch any reviews, of course.
So the game is apparently so good, and something in me was telling me this game was going to be good because first of all, they postponed it, I think once or twice, and they released kind of a statement where they're like, we want to polish this
but
much more.
That's like company talk.
Of course, they always say that, but there was, I forgot, now I already forgot, but they released a couple of more things on YouTube or statements or stuff that really, for some reason, showed me that they had insane amount of trust in this product. They knew what they're making was incredible. Even, I'm not a Doom fan, never was. I didn't like Doom 2016. I may not even like this one.
Probably, yeah.
I'm just, if it's a 6 or a 7 out of 10, that's what it is for me. Again, always subjective, blah, blah, blah. You guys know my shtick. But something in me told me they fucking believe in this game so much. And even if they didn't, millions are spent. You have to get millions are spent. You have to market the game so people buy it. It's just you have to get the money back. I think it's fine. I think that's the way you have to do it.
Okay.
I think No Man's Sky is really a unique case of just fraud, basically.
Oof.
Yeah.
Didn't you see the Internet Historian video?
Internet Historian.
What was it called?
No Man's Sky. I think
the engoodening of No Man's Sky.
Dude, by the way, collab with an Internet Historian is in the making.
Oh, boy.
He asked me for a couple of videos that I should film. I filmed it, sent it to him. He said videos coming out mid-April. I don't know what he's going to do with those files. I had to film it in front of a green screen.
Oh, no.
So I told him, please, I trust you with these videos. Handle with care.
Yeah. No Man's Sky. Internet Historian videos are always a treat.
I feel like on every podcast we praise Internet Historian.
Yeah, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
His videos are God level. Did you watch this video about the guy, the end of the world video? When the guy this church announced the end of the apocalypse was coming?
Yeah, of course.
Amazing.
All of his videos are amazing.
Yeah, true.
Okay. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about the current situation of my Doom hype. I already bought it. It's ready to play in I think 2 days, right?
Yeah, on Friday.
Yeah. And I'm gonna play the fuck out of it. And then we'll see. I hope I'm.
Did I talk about what's coming next on my channel? I think I did, right? So with this podcast coming this Friday, on Doom release date, this podcast coming, then I will be playing Doom Eternal all weekend. On Saturday or Sunday night, I will film the Anthony Remembers Half-Life 2. Because on the 23rd, which is the Tuesday, Half-Life Alyx coming out. So midweek, planning to release Anthony Remembers Half-Life 2, and then end of next week, hopefully be able to release Doom Eternal review. So I really, I'm under so much stress right now, but it's good kind of stress. I'm looking forward to this work. And then also still working on a concept video, a unique one with Sophia and Animal Crossing. Because you can review that. You can't do it till I die, because that stream would last until I die, literally. Because
because you can't die
because you can't die. Yeah. Then I want to, right. So, guys, what reviews are coming up? That's important. So, Mountain Blade 2, I'm not going to review this because it's early access, but I might do it till I die. Resident Evil 3 is going to be reviewed.
When is that coming out?
3rd of April.
3rd of April, okay.
Very soon.
Stars.
Final Fantasy VII Remake. Andi,
Don't.
What should I do? Listen, I've never played a Final Fantasy game. I hate Japanese anime shit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm interested. I looked at gameplay. Looks interesting to me. It does. I'm admitting it. It looks cool. Yeah. The action and shit looks cool.
Excuse me. You are the person who would rather cut his hand off than to play one of these randomized encounter.
Wait, it's randomized encounters?
If it's Final Fantasy VII, then that's what it is.
Okay, how random is it?
You walk around the world,
like Pokemon, or do you have the enemies walking around on this world map, and you walk around the world map, and then
it used to be like the world map is just a world, and then you walk around, and then at some point suddenly it goes like.
That's not what it looked like on the gameplay at all.
I mean, I may be making a fool out of myself here, because in the remake it's kind of a Resident Evil 2 like reimagining.
Yeah, exactly.
Possibly. But in the original Final Fantasy, it was like Final Fantasy.
Okay, let's say here's how it's going to go down. Yeah. So Resident Evil 3 review, that's definitely happening. Yeah. Let's put Final Fantasy 7 on a maybe list. Because I think I can cover it. Because other than that, there's nothing that's coming out in April. There's Gears Tactics coming out, which I don't know if that's worth a review. And the next big game I have marked here is end of May, which is The Last of Us 2.
Which is probably postponed, right? Or
no, don't say that. Please don't say
didn't
that.
You just say that?
No, I said it might.
Oh, I see.
Just,
okay.
It's not yet postponed.
Yeah, let's
And
psychologically
I think
influence
think about
the
that.
game.
If a game is announced for May, they're basically done. They're done now.
Yes, they are.
Where's Caesar when you need him, man? No, because he could.
Caesar is working on it.
No, because he could explain to us the time frames. 2 months before game's release, the game is done.
I can't tell. I know from the Path of Exile developers that they sometimes work on the game the day of release.
Well, no, that's always happening because they have to release day one patch and bug fixes.
Okay.
Day one is always a big work day for all teams. But Death Stranding's coming for PC in June. But I can't do a tie about that. I can't do a review.
That will be a 2-hour stream of intro cutscenes.
Death Stranding. I'm gonna get that for PC. I'm just gonna mod the fuck out of it, man. I can't wait.
Death Stranding.
Yeah, we talk about that extensively. Then, how dare you fucking shit on Ghost of Tsushima? How dare you? That game looks like a 10 out of 10 Rantoni epic seal of approval.
Okay, you have obviously lost your ability to
How
think.
can you look at that trailer and
Yes, look at the trailer and tell me that doesn't look like Scheiß.
explain your reasoning?
Okay, so like everyone, I watched the trailer and I thought the animation, the facial expressions, everything looked like a few years back.
First of all,
And then it's like, also, I realized I'm not even interested in anything that's happening in this game.
first of all,
Yeah.
you're wrong.
So no.
Secondly,
You're right.
no. Okay, you know what? I'm putting back my personal bias and I'm meeting you halfway and saying, true. To some extent, wait.
Oh my god. You want to be more professional.
Ranton 2020, guys.
starting the year with a bang.
So, you're right. The cutscenes did not look super crazy, amazing, groundbreaking, but because I think it was in-game graphics. It was in-game graphics, and for in-game graphics, that is absolutely fine.
Okay, yeah.
Secondly, the gameplay they showed. So where's the problem? Where's the doubt? It looks amazing. Open world, samurai shit, stealth action, counter gameplay, sword shit, man. How can this? Where's the doubt? Where is the doubt that this is just? How can this be bad? No, but honestly, like, okay, so the developers, let's look at the history. They've made the Infamous games. Now, the Infamous games are actually not all great, I think, but they're pretty polished and they do well what they do. But this just looks incredible. It looks like a 10. It looks like the best game of 2020 for me. So what else other than
what about this combat looks like,
man, the way
special to you?
The cherry blossom, just standing there under the cherry blossom tree with a sword, man, and then just.
Oh, that seems like a great game.
Man, you have to feel. How can you not feel it?
No.
Okay, for me, it's like Sekiro, but open world and not retarded Japanese, not Japanese mindset.
Yeah, that's a problem.
No. Because these Japanese games have the worst interfaces and everything cryptic shit, and Japanese people don't know how to tell stories. Already triggered a lot. Sorry, that's just how. That's just.
Unsubscribe.
I'm speaking my truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this game is just Japan, but made by Americans.
Non-Japanese people. Yeah.
Perfect. No. So Ghost of Tsushima, for me, hype levels are next level.
Okay.
And because they announced it amidst of the Corona crisis, no company is this stupid to announce a game during a crisis if they're not sure it's gonna come out.
Yeah.
So
is there a date?
Yeah, 2nd of June.
2nd of June. Okay.
Do not crop this scene and send it to me when they postpone it. Then.
Okay. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima.
Also, Cyberpunk 2077 was 2077. Did I say 70? Postponed to September. Also, from what I've heard, looks like this game is not going to be postponed because they already gave it to some sort of agency to test, I think, something. I don't know exactly what it was, but I read that usually when companies do this this is final
to
stages.
get like the golden disc, I think.
This is like final stages of development.
Yeah.
This is basically, this game is done. Which I'm thinking,
that's kind of crazy.
September? That's half a year away.
Yeah.
Can't you release?
Game?
Has it ever happened that a game was postponed? Preponed?
That's not gonna happen, right?
That's not gonna happen, right? Or,
but then again, if the game is finished, what are they doing now?
yeah, exactly. Every day you postpone, it's incredible costs they're taking on.
Yeah.
Has it ever happened that a game was released earlier than planned? I don't think so.
I don't think so too.
But that would be, by the way, crazy shit. Cyberpunk 2077. Before we move on to the next thing, my dreams ruined. I had a dream. Like 3 weeks ago, where I played Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, okay.
And it was so amazing. And it ruined the game for me, I think, now. Because it's not going to be as good. It's not going to be as good as in my dream.
It's a dream, yeah.
Dude, the graphics in my head were so amazing. The streets looked so real, and then I looked at the gameplay on YouTube. I was like, this does not look at like
I dream like this.
This does not look like I did in my dream. But yeah, nice early sabotage. And then also Iron Harvest coming out, which is a World War I steampunk Company of Heroes like game, which I can't fucking wait for.
Yo, Company of Heroes.
Yeah, so this is regarding the games, and yes.
Oh. And in between that,
Shaolin content, Rantoni Remembers, podcast, and then in between videos that like concept videos that are like unique, like the MRE unpacking video or stuff that with Sophia maybe or something. Yeah, and also the streams.
Awesome,
yes,
man. You're streaming on YouTube, right?
Streaming on YouTube, yeah.
I'm gonna tune in. When is that again?
Angry Cuck Gaming.
No. When are you going live?
Angry Cuck Gaming.
Will I just get a notification?
9 p.m. But you have to subscribe to that channel. It's a different channel.
Of course, I will.
Yeah, and it's basically a different game every day, streaming until I die.
Okay.
Very simple. So I think maybe let's answer some Patreon questions.
Awesome. Yes.
I want to apologize to the Patreons that it took so long for this podcast.
Yeah.
It's finally here. And I want to also, by the way, really show my appreciation again to all the Patreons for sticking with me through this time. I know I had to say, it's coming, guys. It's coming. I had to say it so many times. I felt bad. I mean, it was true, but it always hurts when,
exactly. Yeah.
Obviously, they give me money, so they're like, well, take your time. But
you're like living on their trust a little bit, right?
Of course. So they're like, we trust you, like, but.
Come on.
And I was like, I'm working on it. And I was, but I think we're going into full production. We're basically in full production.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, okay.
Let's begin.
Also, please come on Patreon and become part of it. Would really appreciate that. You can send Patreon questions, for example. By the way, now I'm going to read all Patreon questions, but from this point on forward, because somebody on Discord said that to me, it doesn't make sense the way I did it. I limited the amount of tiers that can ask Patreon questions. Now, what that leads to is that on every podcast, we have the same people asking questions. So now I unlimited the tier, but because we don't want to answer 50 podcast questions, we're going to put the questions in a hat and randomly choose 10 in each podcast.
Oh, okay.
I think that makes more sense. What's going to happen is some people are not going to get their questions answered, but with the system we had in place before, we always have the same people asking questions. Because no
one could get into the tier. I see.
And that
then this is arguably better.
But because this is not going into effect retroactively, so now we're still going to answer all the questions. Yes. Man, I love the podcasts.
Yeah, I've missed it, man. I missed it.
Okay,
let's go.
Harris, aka Stack Dice.
No, stop contact.
Stack Dice. He's also Discord legendary Stack Dice. He's also in quarantine, not in quarantine, but he's in home office right now.
Yeah, nuking up the ballen.
Yeah, working for the local gemeinde. He actually does. He works in the gemeinde.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Rantoni Pepperoni eats a lot of fricadelloni, so you've So you've mentioned this a lot in the Discord, and the society is wondering, when will Andi finally join us for a match of Society of Heroes? I was not gonna bring that up, you bitch.
So, the game was bought. Yeah, it was on Steam. Apparently, once you guys started playing, Steam decided to sell it for €2. I, of course, got it. And it turns out my brain is incapable of processing Company of Heroes.
It's different.
In this short amount of time. I always felt like come on, get to the tutorials. Then I'm gonna play it with you guys. But I realized you guys actually know what you're doing, and I wouldn't have.
So the funny thing is, if I may explain, Company of Heroes is the game that I've played the most in 2019. Company of Heroes, I've rediscovered this game. For me, it's the best RTS of all time. I'm honestly, I can't play other RTS games. They're too fast. Company of Heroes is the perfect mix of chill and exciting. It's fucking almost perfect. It's an amazing game. But even because you don't like this World War II scenario, now I like it, but I do agree with you at this point. I'm like, I would like to have something else, some other scenario. But I'm telling you, Company of Heroes, you have to play with us. On this Discord server alone, on mine, I think at least 20 or 25 people have the game, and maybe up to 10 people regularly play it.
Okay,
at least
wow.
Okay. So there's always people down for a match of Company of Heroes. But it's funny that Stekto is asking for Company of Heroes because this bitch... I see the question was 2 months ago. That was still back then when Stektos enjoyed Company of Heroes. Because now every time I ask him, he's giving me the silent treatment.
I just have to do the dishes.
Yeah, but guys, all get Company of Heroes. Amazing game. Not the second one. It's garbage. The first one. Brian, Birdie. Man, all these people that have become friends. Crazy. Okay, Birdie. He's a guy who lives in Sweden. He's a Vietnamese ancestry, and he does beatboxing. And he's fucking good. Hello from Swedistan Society. This is Abu Bakr al-Burdadi. What are the best and worst experiences as a YouTuber?
So I can already tell you that I'm not really qualified to answer this question, but the best situation is getting a fan to recognize you on the street.
You are kind of a YouTuber.
A little. Thanks to you.
Yeah.
Thanks to you.
I think the worst part of being a YouTuber is very good. Is your work-life balance. Because you're always at home, you're never completely at work and you're never completely off work. This sounds so weird, like first world problems, and it is, but it is a problem because shit ends up postponing. Like it really consumes you all the time. And this was one of the reasons why I had to kind of also stop and rethink what I'm doing. And I actually set myself a schedule now. I'm not working on weekends. I'm working Mondays to Fridays, and I'm not working on weekends. I'm not touching my channel shit. Yeah. And
you said that in the last podcast, I think, or did you just told it to me?
I might have only told that to you. I don't think
I remember that was you told me that was like your plan because. Yeah. It wasn't sustainable otherwise.
I did it in such a bad way. I was never really at work. I was constantly procrastinating and not doing it. And I was never off work either. So I'm not going to work on weekends anymore. I'm going to put in an exception for this week, actually, because I'm excited to work and I need to get some content. I want to do this. So this weekend I am working. But I think the toughest part is fixing your work-life balance. And also as a European, I mean, I don't want to get into too much, but it's really a headache to... Every time I look at laws being made, it does worry me a lot. That's the bad part. Best part of YouTube so far is meeting you guys on the Discord. And just, it sounds so cringe. But the most important thing about the videos is that people laugh.
People like it.
Yes. Yeah. The most important part is that you look at the video and you're having fun. This is just imagining that people are laughing while watching my videos. This is what makes me happy. Sounds cringe as fuck, but it's true.
And to make you happy, I now know that hundreds of people in front of their computer are like, cringy.
He thinks I'm laughing at his videos.
What a fool.
Yeah, the most important thing is that you watch the video, and even if you don't laugh, you have positive energy. That's the most important shit. So, Appletree5022, what's your opinion about Dungeons and Dragons, and have you ever played it? Never played Dungeons and Dragons in my life.
I have actually a very strong opinion about it. I fucking hate it.
Really?
I think Dungeons and Dragons and this whole pen and paper role-playing game is some of the most unbearably cringy bullshit.
What? I thought it's just up your alley because you're like...
What? No, absolutely not. This people like pretending to be some... Conan the Barbarian.
Wait, what?
What the fuck? Stop it.
Wait, for real? You don't like it?
Okay, that was kind of extreme. I realized that was kind of extreme.
2 seconds later, instant regret.
But I really dislike it. I think it really doesn't feel cool. Yeah. And to make it like cool, you have to get so far into it that it's already kind of weird.
So here's how I see it. I never played it. I have a very limited interest in it, but from every time I hear about it, it sounds kind of cool. Because I don't know how it works, but how the fuck can you do whatever you want?
You can't.
Every time
very forced.
But every time I watch people play it, it's like how does this work? How can you do whatever you want just by deciding with dice?
You see, the thing is, you have a game master.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if that's even the correct term.
Yeah.
I have infinite enemies now, so and the game master basically thinks of like he creates the world and the game, the scenario you're playing, and I guess the idea is to have everything be possible, but it's the game master's job to like steer the story into a certain direction.
Okay.
You could say you can solve this one problem with whatever way you want, and it's the game master then that decides how he gets everything has individual consequences, unique consequences, but they all like lead into the next story point, so to say, maybe with different starting conditions, but it still leads to some other point.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it sounds interesting on paper to me.
Having like a good game master is basically most of the it makes or breaks the experience. Yeah.
Have you ever played it?
I have played it a few times. Yeah.
You didn't enjoy it?
Like, if I had said I didn't enjoy it, that would be a lie. I kind of enjoyed it, but I also didn't. Like it felt so forced. Like I realized that I had to like force myself a little bit to like it, because
maybe you had a bad game master.
I don't know. I mean, he was doing it for the first or second time.
Weird thing is, for most people that I know that play it, most people who play it say it's cool, but not a lot of people play Dungeons and Dragons. I feel like I don't know. Every time I think about, hey, maybe I should play Dungeons and Dragons, I'm thinking, well, or I can just play a video game and have more fun. I don't know. Yeah. It's
I take back a little bit how extreme I worded it. It's just, to me, it's too forced. It feels very forced, and it feels like they're trying desperately to have fun, and that spark just didn't ignite for me.
Interesting. Alex
you
Hauer.
all out there, enjoy your D&D.
Before you was die in hell. Okay.
I want you to have positive energy.
I want you to walk away from this podcast having positive energy, you piece of shit. Alex Hauer says, are you religious or do you believe in other higher things?
Let's make a podcast on this individual question.
Okay, let's talk about that a little bit.
Good.
So we were raised, I think, in a very open-minded way. Religion was not forced on us, nor was it forced away from us.
Yeah.
It was very open-minded.
Left to our decision.
So religion is kind of like politics in a way, where it's a delicate issue, and I do also change my mind on it a lot. That's why I don't want to come across now as this is what I'm. So here's where I'm leaning towards right now, kind of how I see it. So I don't know if I want to talk about it, actually. Let's just say I don't. So here's how I see it. First of all, I'm not part of any religion, no institution that I follow or anything like that. But do I really believe in a higher power or metaphysics? No. But I sometimes like to phrase it as, I hope. I don't believe, but I hope. So what particularly grinds my gears is when I see people who I think did or committed severe injustices or crimes against humanity, really big ones, and then they die and they they get off this earth unpunished. That makes me very mad. I think that makes anyone mad. And I don't believe that they're in hell. I don't believe it. I don't. It's irrational to believe that. It's ridiculous, I think. But I hope that they get their punishment. But the same way goes the other way around. I think there are amazing people, great people, who never got the gratitude or they deserved. And I don't believe they're in heaven. I just don't believe it. I don't have it in me to believe that. I think it's ridiculous. But I hope they're in a better place. That's how I would kind of phrase it. You know, sometimes I look at these videos of the universe and shit, and I'm thinking, I really don't mean to offend anyone. Okay, I don't have a problem with any. I don't have a problem with any. I'm a very tolerant person, I think, but I just think it's ridiculous to fool yourself. I feel like that already comes off as offensive to some people. I really apologize. Like, I really don't mean to offend people, but how can you say that? Like, think the only difference between us and the people a few thousand years ago is that they're dumber than us. I mean, that's how it is. You wouldn't believe that shit if someone comes across to you today and says what's in these books. I wish I could, the suspension of disbelief, I had that, but I just don't. I hope that didn't come off as too controversial. I'm sorry if it did. I really have no problem with anyone following a religion.
I mean, guys, that was basically the most neutral and unoffensive answer that was possible. So
I hope
if
so.
you are offended, fuck you.
No, I really hope I didn't offend anyone, because I really don't want to.
Okay. So here's the viewpoint.
Here's the reality.
Here's the viewpoint from a physicist. I think there are two sections here when people ask about, so what? How ask you the Gretchen question? How do you take it with religion? There's one big part, and that is, what do you think happens after you die? And there's the other part that asks, do you believe in a higher power? Now, the question one, I can answer very simply and with full conviction. Yeah. I have no reason to believe that there's anything outside of being alive. There's no difference. Like, if you would make a snapshot of one moment in time of the entire universe, you could not tell if anything was alive or not, because there's no physical difference in an object that is alive and an object that is dead. There's, like, of course, if you take like over a period of time, you know that there's brain activity, whatever. Yeah. But in a snapshot, like one amalgamation of atoms is not alive or dead. A vertical slice. A vertical slice of the universe is not alive or dead or whatever. Yeah. So the concept of the afterlife kind of doesn't even ask or is a question for me. So, and I've never actually, like, for some people that's a scary thought. And I get it. Like,
I think it's scary for all of us. And those who say it's not scary, you just haven't thought about death enough. Sooner or later, when we're at our deathbed, we're gonna be suddenly very religious. I'm not excluding that possibility for myself.
I'm kind of excluding that possibility for myself. But I mean, I'm 28, so what do I know?
Exactly.
Yeah. The other part about, do you believe in a higher power? I think that is much harder to answer. Because, again, I could say, as a physicist, I have no reason to believe in a higher power. But that's actually not true. Remember, in one episode, many podcasts back, I talked about how I think Lovecraftian cosmic horror, the horror of things too great to be comprehensible for the human mind, kind of is in the scale of the universe itself. The universe is so big that by itself, it's already incomprehensible.
But that's just value you assign to it. It doesn't care that you think it's too big. It is just, that's it. It is the way it is.
But the question then, like, if someone asks me, do you believe in a higher power? I see it as a power that is higher than man. And,
well, of course,
the complexity of the universe, the way everything interweaves, and the 4 dimensions of space and time and the standard model, everything fits together. I think that, for me, is a higher power. I don't think a higher power created it. I think the universe itself is the higher power.
Okay.
And
it's a kind of a okay, I accept that. But I want to kind of, because I really think I don't want to make anyone mad. I want to say that I do sympathize a lot with there are some religious ideas that I sympathize with a lot, and I understand them. And they're also, I think religion also leads to some great things, and I really think a lot of religious people are very inspiring. Yeah. For example, there's this movie Life of Pi, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. This is a movie about religion, about the values of stories, and I understand that. But I just, I don't know.
If I think about, do religions in total do more good or bad?
That's
in the
hard
world?
to say.
I mean, I don't have any data, but it feels to me that they're doing more good than bad.
That would be hard for me to answer because I would say that 1,000 happy people don't outweigh one murdered guy.
Yeah, that's how do you?
That's difficult. That's difficult. But there's something else that I thought about. I want to ask you this. Thank God I thought of this now. When I have a bag of marbles in my hand, and I pour the marbles, I open the bag in the air and I let the marbles fall on the floor. Would you say the way in which the marbles end up on the floor, would you call this determined or
random? Okay, I would say it's random. So, and you are going to ask me, but why? If I know the exact position and gravity and let go, they should fall on the floor in the same way, right? But actually, and that's a little bit of what I mean with a higher power. The complexity of it all makes it like all of these individually deterministic processes interweave together to make something unforeseeable.
No.
That is I think chaos theory
but think about it. If you have the bag of marbles and you could procedurally generate how exactly they would fall. If you knew where exactly is the marble position in the bag, everything, all that, the gravity, this and this and this. If I let go exactly like this, you should be able to, with a computer, generate how each marble is going to fall.
Well, with a computer, maybe.
Well,
but I mean, that's the thing. A computer is not a.
But the laws of physics apply to each marble, and the laws of physics can be emulated in a computer.
But that's the thing. We don't know all the influences on the marbles. That's what I mean.
Which one is missing?
Like, when you drop a marble, it pushes to the side the air molecule.
We know all that.
Yeah, but the constellation of air molecules in the air is irreproducible. You cannot put a molecule in the exact spot that it was. Right.
So there are too many factors to okay. Mm-hmm.
And I would even go so far as to say the position of the air molecules is random. You could say that, but if you knew where the air molecule was a second ago, you could say it's now there. But that's actually, like, on the quantum level, the universe itself becomes kind of random. That's we're diverging here a little bit. That's a huge controversial point in physics. One of the biggest, like, schisms that's going to happen in physics is how to interpret quantum mechanics.
Mm-hmm. The reason why I bring this up is because I saw a video recently of a person making the argument for determinism. Determinism means that everything is pre-planned, yeah?
Determinism means if you know the starting conditions, you can.
So, and I always thought, determinism is just bullshit because it's not how we live our lives. We live our lives daily and we make free choices. Like all these mental gymnastics that people do. But everything's pre-planned. Like, leave me alone. That's not how you live your life. Yeah. We make choices each day. But the argument he made was a physical argument, and it made a lot of sense to me. Because then I watched that one video where the timeline keeps going, and at the end, after trillion time, like a whole billion years, every dust is settled and the entropy is zero, and this is the inevitable end. And he explained it kind of like
heat death of the universe.
Every movement we make is the explosion, the initial creation of the universe, the particles falling into place. And that made a lot of sense to me. Everything we're doing, these are the particles of the universe falling into place ultimately. And I was like, whoa, he's right. But that's why the marble thing, I kind of, that's what I thought of. Maybe that's not the analogy he would use, but it's kind of the same thing. The universe popped open, and the moment it pops open, movement, and this takes billions of years, and when it's all gone, the universe is there, everything's over. But everything we're experiencing right now is the stardust settling and the particles moving around from the explosion. This is all predetermined, like the marbles dropping on the floor and getting into position.
So the idea is that if you choose to do an action, it has already been decided for you to choose to do this action in this moment.
Whatever you do, we are the particles, we are stardust, right?
Yeah.
We are the particles of the universe falling into place, ultimately. Like we are so small and insignificant. This is like us. If you drop the marbles on the floor, the dust that's being pushed up by the marble hitting the ground. This is us. We're nothing in the grand scheme of things.
I would disagree. He takes the what you said, that in a very long amount of time the universe will experience something that is called the heat death.
Yeah, we talked about this last time on the podcast.
Yeah, and the heat death is basically when the entropy has reached its maximum, Since entropy can only increase in an isolated system, there is no possibility for the universe to do anything.
At some point, it's done.
So, that already has a big assumption. One, entropy can only increase in an isolated system. Where is it written that the universe is an isolated system?
But don't you say yourself the universe is expanding, so therefore it has a limit?
No. That's also something else.
Okay.
Just because something is expanding doesn't mean it has a border.
Oh, right. Actually, yeah, you're right. You explained it with infinite
I'm going to
numbers.
explain it to the viewers.
Mm-hmm.
If some of you have the idea that, well, if the universe is expanding, there has to be like a border that's moving. No. Picture this. How many natural numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, infinite. And yet, the number 1/2 is not part of them. So just because something is infinite, it doesn't mean you cannot expand on it.
There are bigger and smaller infinities,
Yes,
which is also
yes.
something that I took a while to grasp. With like, wait, infinities is infinity, but no, they are bigger and smaller.
Yeah.
Like there's even an easier way to explain this. Name all numbers above 0, infinite, right?
Yeah.
Now add all the numbers that are under 0 to that,
and
now
you have a bigger infinity. Yeah. So,
It's crazy shit, man.
But so he talks about the heat death of the universe, which is a possible end point to reach.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the universe is an isolated system. At some point, it will reach maximum entropy and be done for. Just because the end point is determined, it says nothing about the way to reach it.
But the Big Bang, do scientists agree on the Big Bang? They do.
Yeah.
So it's a boom,
Mm-hmm.
and this big boom will end with the heat death. And
Yes,
until it reaches
yes.
that, all particles are falling into place like the marbles falling on the floor.
No, because as I said before, like on the quantum level, particles. Again, it's a.
But every particle comes from the Big Bang. The Big
yes,
Bang.
but its behavior isn't determined by it.
So it's different from the marbles falling on the floor because the marbles have certain laws of physics that apply to them, but the universe is kind of above those laws.
I am above the law.
Or
no, if you say like subatomic particles, like the smallest things we currently know, they don't behave deterministically.
Okay.
And like if you have 10 to the something molecules or atoms that form like a marble, then all of these, their wave functions, I'm just going to use that term, not going to explain it, all of their wave functions combine to something that is like macroscopic, a actual object. And that object behaves after the known laws of Newton and electrodynamics and stuff. But on the atomic level and subatomic level, there's effects that don't matter to the marble. But these effects matter to the particles.
Yeah, but even the subatomic particles were created when the Big Bang happened. All of this it's so big. The Big Bang created so much.
Yeah.
All of this it's just a very complicated bag of marbles. Yeah. All of this movement is things falling into place for the ultimate entropy heat death.
Heat death, yeah.
Doesn't that, for some reason, that makes so much sense?
No. I have another way to explain it. Picture this.
Okay.
I kind of talked about this a little bit in my probability science segment a few podcasts back, but here's the thing. Imagine a truly random process. Schrödinger famously, in his Schrödinger's cat thing, the decay of an atom, of a radioactive atom, is a truly random process. Yeah? Now, let's say it is truly random and it has a probability of 50%. If you repeat this truly random event an absurdly high amount of time, you actually know that 50% of it will happen this way and 50% will happen this way. You know the end point, but you have no way of telling if one atom is going to decay one way or the other. It's an absolutely non-deterministic process leading to a determined outcome.
But why does it make so much sense to me, this fucking explanation?
Tell me the name of this fool!
But if we drop, I feel like we're going too long on this tangent, but let's just, if I open the bag of marbles and I took a screenshot in the moment they're all in the middle, with very complicated algorithms, you could determine, if you know all the variables, where they're going to end up on the floor. No?
No, because some of the influences on these marbles are not
But-
unknowable.
They're unknowable, or
They're random. Yeah. And random is kind of unknowable.
well, but they're not unknowable. Theoretically, they are knowable. There's nothing that we don't know that's influencing this. Everything that's influencing the marble falling into place is knowable by us.
No, I mean, as I said, like the air molecules themselves,
Fuck.
they influence.
Let's just move on. But I don't know, man. This, I still would say, like, on the day-to-day life, of course we're free.
Yeah,
and also
we're highly esoteric and theoretical.
And also the way we structure our society, we have to assume that freedom is a thing. Otherwise, we cannot punish people for bad behavior. Good. Sorry about this.
Great question, by the way. I loved it.
Yeah. Emmanuel Rivera asked, hey guys, hope you're well. The Ranton channel has been my sanity center while tensions rose overseas. So thank you. My question is primarily for Andi, although Ranton's input would be interesting. Logically, morally, and ethically, holy shit.
Oh dear.
Where are we going today? Do you support efforts to colonize Mars? And on that note, also interstellar travel.
Okay.
Bruh. Man, this podcast is going deep.
Okay. So, what was the three things that?
Logically, morally, and ethically. Yeah.
So logically, I assume you mean like if is the binary question, should we do it, yes or no? I would say yes. So now why? One is technological. Doing something that has never been done before is the driving force of technological progress. I mean, I hear this question all the time when I talk about what my master thesis was, and I was like, I'm doing research.
But why?
And how do I profit from this? Yeah. And I always, or when CERN discovers a new particle, like, how does this change my daily life? And I was like, you won't profit from people knowing that the Higgs boson exists. But all the technology that led to this discovery, in CERN, they invented the internet. Then they need smaller and smaller computers. They need materials that they can put current through with no resistance.
The collateral damage.
Yeah, all of this, the collateral undamage, basically. Yeah.
Collateral benefits.
The collateral gain is how you profit from it. And colonizing Mars would be an undertaking that would undoubtedly profit the broad public collaterally. Yeah. That's the first thing. Second thing. What was it? Ethically and morally?
Yeah.
I'm absolutely not qualified to speak on this in any matter, but as we have maybe just, or I have maybe just elaborated in the religion question, there is no reason for me to have any objections.
I don't think
there.
this is a moral question to whether colonize Mars is right or wrong. I heard once that it's kind of useless because Mars is essentially what Earth would look like in like several million years. There's nothing there for us to get.
Well, I mean, like colonizing Mars is not there's greener pastures there.
What are we gonna do?
It's mostly just can we should do it because we can.
Sure.
Or we should try to do it because that's, yeah.
And I understand that, but I'm thinking at the same time,
we have bigger issues.
Yeah,
that's also one of the main reasons why I'm not 100% like one of these, oh my God, Mars. And I also feel kind of put off by these people like, oh, I'm going to start a new life on Mars because I fucked up this life here. Like come on,
it's not going to,
please.
Wherever humans are. Yeah, like give me a break. It's not going to matter what planet you're on.
So Mars isn't like this new dawn for humanity. Yeah. It's just going to continue. It's like you have planet. Countries, you have Mars.
Yeah.
So I don't believe in all this like utopian crap.
Yeah.
But I still think like investing a little bit of research into traveling beyond Earth is a worthwhile investment, even if only for the collateral benefits of this research.
That come of the research. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Ahmed Shaban asked, hey, what's good, home sauce? Which video game character made you a horny bad boy?
Bayonetta.
Me personally was Jenny the Bat from Blood War 2. I've never fucking heard of that.
Heard of it.
Blood War 2 loading screen. Big love, Habibi. Salamu alaikum, Habibi. Kef halak?
Salamu alaikum.
Yes. Horny from a video game character.
So who would be your wife?
Honestly, what female video game character did not make me horny under the age of like 16?
They are so sexualized.
Is there
what
one
do you
that particularly stands out? There must be. There definitely is. I can't think of one.
So over the top, I would say Bayonetta. But she's kind of already a little bit disgusting.
Honestly, I hate the way she's designed.
Yeah?
I hate that kind of style. The goth shit, I hate that goth shit.
Big titty goth, GF?
Well, no problem with the big titties in principle, but the goth stuff,
Oh, okay.
nah. But there must be something I'm fucking missing. I could name some great female characters, but not really ones that I thought were hot. Every time with these questions, I mean, Metal Gear Solid 3, well, that was so cringe.
It's always kind of uncanny for me. Like, I talked about this in the Death Stranding review, I think. The face capturing often worked very good, but it had some very uncanny valley moments.
Yeah.
And I don't know,
hot female video game character.
Okay, no, I know one.
Chun-Li, right?
Claire from the Resident Evil 2 remake is pretty fucking hot.
Really?
Yeah.
Bruh, she had like these autistic eyes.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, funny that you say Resident Evil 2 remake because I reinstalled that recently and I saw there's a DLC where you play this weird Russian girl with huge titties and she's wearing like a gown for sleeping or something.
Jesus.
So fucking cringe. Sexy. Devil May Cry 5? Did that
the girls from Devil May Cry? Nah.
Sheva from Resident Evil 5? Nah, she was just a cool character.
Give me an herb.
Give me an herb. Chris.
And then when we go further back, it kind of becomes like if you say that shit now, you're like, you like polygons.
Yeah. I'm trying to go really all the way back. Zelda, probably? Yeah. I don't remember having a crush on Zelda, though.
Did you see? Like in the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate subreddit, someone posted like characters and their hitboxes. And Zelda wears like a skirt, a long dress. And then he visualized her hitbox and turns out she has like a hugely thick ass.
Like Zelda, but to be fair, I don't. I think I would remember if I ever had a crush on Zelda as a kid. I don't. I don't think so. Probably because she was not present enough in the game. You're mostly Link running around.
Actually, no, not really.
There must be one.
I'm trying to go along our favorite games of all time list. In Bloodborne,
I'm sure there was this one female character that I thought.
In The Last of Us, no.
By the way, also one other reason why this all took so long is because I redid the acoustic foam in my room, and now it's fucking amazing. Touch it; it's fucking solid.
Hey, it's a Bombenfest.
I would say, but that also wasn't a crush. Batista or Bautista, or whatever the fuck her name was. It was a female character in Knights of the Old Republic 1. But I don't think I had a crush on her.
I remember one of the video game related crushes you had was Jade Raymond.
Well, that's not in a game. Definitely true. But she's the lead designer or something behind Assassin's Creed 1.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Jade Raymond.
Oh, she is so sexy. Oh, but that's not.
And she did a great job at the game. By the way.
I don't believe it. I'm sure once this podcast ends, I'm gonna be like, that one.
Yes. No.
No, can't think of it. Okay.
Don't know, man.
Fuck.
Seems kind of gay to me.
Sorry, Ahmed. But anyways, that question is haram. Tasty. Oh, Tasty from the Discord. Zup, Tasty. Anton, you have talked a lot about your experiences in China, such as spending time with your family there and, of course, your time at the Shaolin Temple. So many questions. So my question is, what nice memories, experiences do you have of Germany? And would you ever make a video talking about those? Lots of love from Tasty.
Hör mal zu, Alter.
I don't think I can really answer that question because I'm born and raised in Germany, so Germany's my home. I can't pick out anything particular here. Like, it's easier with China because that was like an isolated time, but Germany is my life. My life is here. So I can't really, getting married, graduating from high school.
I would say going to high school in Germany is fucking awesome.
I had an amazing. But although I do think sometimes it's similar with Shaolin, the nostalgia tends to grab me too heavily because there was a lot about school that I fucking hated. And once I think about it for a longer time, I think, bro, I fucking hated that.
Really?
Yeah. There was some shit there. I remember starting school and then French class starts. teacher gives us the book for this year, I open the page. I'm thinking I'm failing this year. Yeah, I remember that.
What?
Shout out to my friend Hakim from school, sitting in the front row, in the first row, getting the book for this year. We're opening the page and there's not a word that we understand.
Oh, I see.
And then we're looking at each other like, that's it.
Was soll der Scheiß?
It has finally caught up to us.
we're gonna die.
Yeah, we're gonna fail this year in French. Yeah. But somehow we still managed. Yeah. I don't know, but there was a lot of pressure that I just a lot of good stuff too.
Okay.
Sorry, Taste, I can't really answer that question. It's like, what is your best memory of your life? Well, getting married, graduating high school. Yeah.
I would say the worst part about high school was me, and everything else was pretty cool.
Well, hope you're doing well, Tasty. Take care of yourself. Vivelien. When was the last time you were able to just sit down, relax, and reflect on where you are now and what you have achieved? Wow. Or is that something you don't do? Because I like to sometimes just drink a nice green tea and stop worrying about things for a moment. It's one of the few ways I handle my big sad. Oh, I hope you're not too sad.
善在.
Yeah, I hope you're doing better now, Vivelien. I do that sometimes. I haven't done that in a while because at this point I think I get it. I still do that. I still sometimes think back and think about the first year of this channel and how it took me a year to get 500 subscribers. And like sometimes looking back, I think, why did I continue? The videos were so shit. Why did I every week force myself to do another video? It was horrible.
Which is absurd because I 100% don't see it this way.
I thought the videos are so fucking horrible, man. Fucking hell. Can't even look at them. But I pushed through and now I'm here. And it's incredible. Yeah, I don't drink the green tea like you, but I sometimes I think back and I reminisce.
I personally would say that is something everyone could have a great experience with. Just taking, it doesn't have to be long. 5 minutes. Grab yourself a cool Corona and or tea or whatever, not cool, and put on something that you can just chill to. I usually think that something like this is only possible alone. So no disrespect, I'm not telling you how to do it, but just thinking about the time that lies behind you I think it's a great experience. Mm-hmm. Don't do it every day, of course.
Yeah. You don't want to live in the past.
Yeah, but once every now and then, I think that's a great.
What I like to do sometimes, also with Sophia, is kind of take a moment to appreciate what we have. That's maybe more important to me than reminiscing about the past, because even when you achieved something, you think, "Wow, this is my achievement." None of us achieve anything on our own. Like we were raised by our parents. We
Absolutely.
have like you and me especially. Like we grew up
so privileged.
We are insanely privileged, and it's not about like I don't think it's reasonable to expect of a human being to walk through life every day going, "Oh, I'm so grateful." But every once in a while, it's important to remember the privileges you were given, and to be grateful for what you were given and the love you were given, and also to understand that not everyone has it this way. A lot of people don't have it very nice. It sounds so cringe and so like virtue signaling, like weird, but every once in a while, just be grateful for what you have. But that also doesn't mean that you should not keep improving and make things better. Yes. Aaron Baumgartner, what do you think about Switzerland? Greetings from there. Who does not like Switzerland?
Okay. Are you from Switzerland, Aaron? I went there in August last year. And we arrived there. It was all pretty spontaneous. And I was hungry. So I went into the city.
Oh, fuck.
And I thought, to start our stay here in Switzerland, let's grab something simple, something cheap. Let's go for a falafel. I go to this super run-down-looking shit falafel place. And he asked me to pay fucking 18 Franken for a falafel. Are you for real?
It's crazy.
I was convinced that Switzerland wanted me to hate it.
Yeah.
You see, a hungry Andi that is asked to pay 18 fucking Franken for a falafel, he will hate you.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How do you survive?
And
fuck.
Yeah, it took a while to get over this experience. But other than the food, Switzerland is godlike.
Switzerland is awesome. Yeah. By the way, I'm sorry, like you wanted to give your country Switzerland all the props, but I just have to now transition to Italy. I want to say very quickly. I thought about this yesterday or a few days ago. I want to say, and this is so true. If you don't like Italy, you're retarded. No. This is so. Wait.
Nice.
No, this is so true on so many levels. I thought about this. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Okay, explain.
If I first reiterate the thesis, if you don't like Switzerland, you are genuine. If you don't like, did I just say Switzerland? if you don't like Italy, you are just factually an idiot, because Italy has it all. The language sounds beautiful. The people are incredibly nice. Number 2, yeah. Number 3, the landscape is gorgeous, Toscana. Number 4, the food is incredible. Number 5, the weather is nice. You cannot dislike Italy. If you don't like Italy, you're a failure as a human being. It's just, I had to get this. I had to get this out of my head, because Italy is really.
All your religion things have been forgiven. People will now hate you because of it.
Come on, you disagree? You cannot dislike Italy.
I mean, I love Italy.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah, but I personally would totally get it if someone says that the language doesn't sound cool.
That's one part of the 5 pillars of the argument.
Toscana isn't the entirety of Italy. Yeah, Rome is a big city that has pollution. Yeah.
That's just one city.
And
I'm allergic to gluten, so I can't eat the pasta.
Okay, listen.
So
if you don't like Italy, you have to debunk all these 5 points. You have to say, I don't like warm weather. Fair enough. You have to say you don't like Italian food. That's like a strike 1, you're out. Sorry. Number three, you have to say you don't like the way the Toscana looks. Hello. Number 4, you don't like the language. Okay, subjective.
Yeah,
subjective. Number 5, you think you have made maybe bad experiences personally with an Italian. Fine. But I think Italy, it's tough to debunk all 5.
Okay.
Just want to get this off my chest, that Italy is amazing.
Anton is Chinese, German, and Italian.
Yes.
By the
way. Daniel Scher. By the way, I think we already had our science segment for today, right? Because now we're at over.
I'm going to make mine very, very short.
Okay, because we have to get through this.
Yeah. So one thing about the Switzerland thing. So, yeah, sorry about the story. It's just my first experience with Switzerland. All the rest, great country.
Yes. Daniel Scher says, thoughts on McGregor versus Cowboy? Also, can you finally use some new Conor McGregor footage when they have a new press conference? I'm sorry. The answer is no, because that one press conference between Khabib and McGregor
can't get better.
There will never be a better press conference in UFC history. You have seen peak UFC. It was peak McGregor. I'm super happy for McGregor that he came back. I think he's cool. I'm happy to see a more humble McGregor, but that was peak cocky asshole McGregor, and I loved it. And yeah, McGregor Cowboy, amazing. Man, what a fight.
That was a fight we watched together, right?
You came over, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, the way he attacked him with his shoulder.
Yeah. And then he was like bleeding, and
I'm super happy for McGregor that he's back. I'm excited to see Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. Let's not get into a huge UFC tangent here, but
we both like it.
Yeah. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing so far. I think Cowboy was a cool dude. I would have enjoyed a longer fight, of course. And to be honest, I think that first hit knocked him. He was so confused. Like, he did not expect Conor to go at him so quickly, and I think he was out before he knew it.
Yeah.
Sucks for him, but that's the fighting game. Eggy says, I burned through all your content in like a week, and I hope not all. Not the old shit.
That was some serious binge watching, man.
You're not sane anymore. I guess that's why you pledged. In like a week, and I just joined this Patreon tier to say I'm glad someone else didn't like Endgame. Don't tell.
Spoodi-Man is fuming at the moment.
By the way, I have to tell you from Spoodi-Man that Spoodi-Man lied about you, and Spoodi-Man said that you did not kick his ass in Smash. Yeah,
are you
Spoodi-Man? I told you I was gonna tell Andi.
Spoda, after we have just reconnected, you break my trust in this way. This will have consequences, my boy.
I can't wait to hear about this on the Discord. Yeah. Spoodi, I just saying, I told you I was gonna do this.
You will be smashed.
Yes.
Is your camera still recording?
Oh, yeah, it's recording. Okay. Also, I don't know if it's too late to post here, so I joined this late. As for a question, what games did you and your brother play the most together when you were younger? Co-op, split screen, etc.
Halo, I think.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think Halo was the
Bro, Halo. Remember?
Halo 3, right? Yeah.
We had this awesome thing. We had an Xbox upstairs, Xbox downstairs, connected both Xboxes
By
with
a 20-meter cable.
20-meter LAN cable.
Yeah.
Connect both Xboxes. 4 people up here, 4 people down there. 4v4. Peak life. Peak life.
That was god
The
tier.
few times we did that, that was
absolutely god tier.
That was so fucking amazing. best times, honestly. Super Smash, obviously, a lot of Super Smash. Mario Party, a lot of Mario Party. F-Zero, remember F-Zero?
Yeah. Like I would say
F-Zero
that
X?
the games we played together the most are like the old
Classic Mario.
N64 and GameCube era games. And then of course some like a few co-op games. I remember we played a little bit of Gears of War.
Yes.
Through the campaign, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
hey.
that's it. Ola Bratok Hallström.
Is that a
probably
male
Swedish.
or female name?
Ola?
Ola?
I would say female. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I would say female, but statistics say it's male. Hello, Anton and Andi. What would your ideal plot storyline for Red Dead Redemption sequel be in terms of setting and characters? And if you would be said before, doing it after the game, much love from Sweden, you little okay. Why do you have to get me started on this? I don't want to get into a huge tangent now. Oh, fuck. Why you get me started on this? So, listen. Red Dead Redemption 3 has to be the story either of John Marston's son, Jack, which I don't think would be super interesting because he's a kid, and also at that point when Jack is an adult, the cowboy times are kind of over, and you don't want the world of Red Dead Redemption to become too modern because then there's a crossover of IPs between Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto, which you want to avoid. So that's why I would personally go for another character which is absolutely crucial to both Red Dead Redemption games, and that is Dutch Vanderlinde as the leader of the Dutch gang is absolutely crucial part of the story, and also a very actually interesting and fleshed out character of Red Dead Redemption 2, which is why I think the amazing prequel Red Dead Redemption 3 should be how Dutch Vanderlinde built up the gang and recruited John Marston and Arthur from nothing. And then also you can go further back and live and make a game during the peak time of the Wild West, because both Red Dead Redemption games play at the end of the Wild West. There's a point of sort of this end times feeling, and Red Dead Redemption 2 in general is a very sad game, but I think Red Dead Redemption 3 should be a super kind of pioneer. You play Dutch, he's a young lad in the Wild West building a gang. I don't want there to be too much building and group mechanics, but that should be the storyline of Dutch Vanderlinde, main character of Red Dead 3.
Anton totally didn't prepare any of that.
I did. No. I didn't prepare this, but this is definitely something I've thought about a lot, and it would make for an amazing story. What do you? You're right.
Well, I can't agree or disagree because I actually don't care.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's nice of you to ask me as well.
Yeah. But I think that would be an amazing third game.
I would personally say that Red Dead Redemption could use its fair share of science fiction, but you know.
I mean, there's Undead Nightmare for Red Dead 1 with zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. Jan Hoffman, what's up, guys? You seem to not really talk about politics on your podcast, so I wanted to ask if there's a particular reason. Now, big warning, politics warning, and also, if you can answer, reading it first before answering. And also, if you could answer, do you watch the YouTuber Destiny? I saw a clip from one of his interviews. Anyways, love you guys. Whether or not
Wait, let's start by saying the politics question. I think we answered that a few podcasts back.
I think that's a long time back.
We were already in this room, I think, but still.
We've been in this room for a long time.
But the short story is, when you say anything about politics on the internet, it stays on the internet, and sometimes you change your mind.
Exactly.
And you will always forever be the guy who had like this extreme opinion at one point in his life, and that will be your stigma. So don't do that.
Yeah. And also, it's very divisive, and it's a net negative at this point.
And as we said, we want people to have positive energy.
Yeah, and you come to this podcast to chill out, maybe think about some stuff that's not politics related. But we do both care a lot about politics.
Mm,
I watch a lot of political content. Whether or not I watch Destiny, or whether or not I agree or disagree with Destiny, is a different question,
Yeah.
and one that shall remain a mystery.
Without the specifics, no, wait, let me do that again. Without the Erlaubnis,
Permission.
Without the permission of the secretary, I can neither deny or
Confirm or deny.
confirm this claim.
Yeah. Let's just say, no, let's just
Let's just not say.
Yeah. Okay. I think, no. Come, fuck it. No politics. But
It's if you really want to know, maybe sometimes on the Discord, or is it even allowed on the Discord? I have no idea.
no, we don't do politics.
We don't. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Okay. We are at 1 hour 47. You have 10 minutes for a science segment.
Awesome. So
two science segments today.
listen, since the last podcast, I came to realize the power I have during the science segment. If you remember what I said, what I did as a science segment last time about virulent diseases and the risk classes of diseases from 1 to 4, and look where we are now. So I have decided to do something really tame and non-dangerous and safe for this science segment. But it still has, you fucker.
I don't know if the mic picked that up. I just fired it again.
It still has something to do with physics and science, so I think it's a fitting subject. The thing I want to talk about this time is the South Pole. Now, first, you might think, what's so interesting about the South Pole? It's an arbitrary point on the Earth. What? But actually, the South Pole has a few great properties that make it very suitable for scientific experiments, which is why the South Pole actually has its own very big research station. No? It's the something Amundsen something. I'm sorry, I forgot the name. Research station. And when I looked into it, I realized that the South Pole Research Station is actually like so fucking Hollywood and awesome. You wouldn't fucking believe it.
Did you prepare a document there for us?
I mean, it's a lot of information. So
Holy shit!
There's when you go into the official website of the National Science, I think something. I keep forgetting the abbreviation.
That doesn't matter.
There's a little bit of a map, a schematic map of the South Pole Station, and the South Pole Station is separated into 4 sectors. Now check these names. You have one sector that is the downwind sector. The downwind sector is unusable because very high speed winds go through the sector and nothing can go there.
I'm getting some video game ideas right now.
I mean,
holy shit.
Come on, yeah. There's a downwind sector where you cannot go because the frosty blizzard winds of the South Pole will immediately destroy you.
Fuck.
It's like, I don't know if you guys have played Soma, the game. There's one section at the end where you walk along the ocean floor and there's like a fault line and there's a huge currents coming from the fault line. And that's exactly what I envision when I think about...
Reminds me of Lost Planet.
Jeez, it's crazy, yeah? There's the downwind sector. And then, next to it, we have the quiet sector. Why is it called the quiet sector? Because no vibration sources are allowed there. The lab there is made for extremely high sensitivity seismic measurements. Like the South Pole Station can detect earthquakes anywhere around the world because it's so like the background noise is basically non-existent in the quiet sector. Holy You're not even allowed to fucking speak.
For real?
No, that's like when I was in the lab, we had a microscope, which is a what's it called? Scanning microscope. And when someone let the door like fall shut, it basically destroyed one of the needles.
What?
One of the microscope
The
needles.
little air of...
No, because the vibration of the door goes into the concrete and then it goes into the floor and destroys one of the needles.
Jesus Christ.
And imagine, we're living in a city. This quiet sector has none of that. It's basically as quiet as you can possibly get on this earth. Awesome. Like it's like a quiet place, but on the South
Honestly,
Pole.
the video game just writes itself.
Yeah. Next up. That name's a little bit less Hollywood, but still, it's the clean sector. What's the clean sector? Everyone is bald? No, it's the clean sector does, as you probably have guessed, atmospheric studies. Studies about the composition of the air and the atmosphere, and maybe about how it, how is this on the South Pole different than on other parts of the Earth. It's basically atmospheric measurements and weather measurements for on a larger scale, like unpolluted by civilization. And the best one I saved for last, the dark sector.
Oh, fuck. That's even the name of video game.
Yes,
Dark Sector.
I know. There's a place on the South Pole that's called the Dark Sector, and in its center is the Dark Sector Lab.
Imagine you work at the Dark Sector Lab.
You're in the dark sector and you're staring down into the downwind sector with these high velocity blizzards going in front of you. And why is the dark sector dark? Well, I mean, that's a very physicist way of looking at it. Dark is the absence of light, and light is electromagnetism. So the dark sector is basically the sector without any electromagnetism.
How do you measure shit without electrical devices?
Well, that's the point. You keep everything extremely, like all the electronics are extremely isolated from each other. You want no like coupling effects.
Interesting.
No phones, like
yeah, of course.
Very low amounts of electricity and pollution, electric pollution. And why do you need that there? Well, the main reason is there are 2 telescopes in the dark sector.
You want to see the stars?
Yes.
Okay.
But they don't measure like visible light. They measure like radio frequencies and radio frequencies and like frequencies that would usually be out, like get lost in the noise of normal electromagnetic. I'm going to call it pollution, but normal electromagnetic noise of human civilization. And in the dark sector, you have none of that. But it's called the fucking dark sector. What the hell?
This would be a great game.
If you find the time, just Google Dark Sector Lab, and you will see the building of the Dark Sector Lab. It even looks like a fucking stage from some obscure video game. Yeah, like Resident Evil 500 will play. Yeah,
that's crazy.
And that is all around the South Pole.
What country is running the countries share the South Poles? As far as I know?
like the main advantage of these joint science cooperatives is that it's basically no country that runs it. I don't even think the Antarctica is like it's really clear who Antarctica.
No, I think there are some
belongs
disputes, but I once saw like a image of the Antarctica and like a pie diagram. Different countries claim different parts. I think it's actually quite convoluted.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, but you.
Well, it's oftentimes that when scientists get together, the country things. Like
Scientists don't.
They get along. Yeah.
Holy moly.
So yeah, I hope I don't.
This was actually perfect because now
I don't create the next absolutely destructive winter until I do my next science segment.
That's almost like Death Stranding. I could imagine like Death Stranding 2 in the South Pole.
What the fuck? When I read this, I was like,
that's insane.
Thank you.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Actually, perfect timing because now I gotta go start my stream. It's a little bit after 9. I'm gonna start my stream.
Okay.
That was it. I think we talked about everything.
We had everything this podcast. Religion, politics, science.
Amazing. Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about I built a new PC, but yeah, whatever. Yeah. I built a new PC. Very, very nice. Got a new processor, the Ryzen 3950X. The best. It's amazing. Okay, guys. I look forward to more content coming soon.
It felt so good doing another podcast.
It did. I'm going to try to, again, now do a monthly thing, yeah? Please consider going on Patreon so you can ask Patreon questions. You can come on Discord, all that good stuff. I rely on this Patreon money for my content. So please consider that. Yep. Also, please stay safe.
Stay safe, guys. I know this doesn't really help you much, but
please self-isolate, avoid practice social distancing.
We don't have to explain this to you. You guys know how to
you know it. All right. Take care, guys. Love you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.